Formula One has always been about the battle between drivers, but also about the battle within teams, and no team embodies this tension more than Red Bull Racing. On one side, you have Max Verstappen, the clear leader, a driver around whom the entire team is built. On the other, the so-called second driver, a seat that in the last few years has almost become cursed. In 2025, the situation has reached another breaking point. The second Red Bull often struggles to even reach Q3 in qualifying, and whoever holds that seat knows their future in the team is never safe. But why does this keep happening? And why does Red Bull seem incapable of supporting two competitive drivers at the same time? Let's dig deep and find out. The first key element is the car philosophy. Red Bull's technical team has always prioritized Verstappen's driving style when shaping the car. Max thrives on an incredibly pointy front end. He wants an aggressive turn-in, razor-sharp response, and a car that allows him to rotate through the corner instantly. That setup makes him unbelievably fast, especially in qualifying, but it comes at a cost. The rear end of the car becomes extremely unstable, and the balance is on a knife's edge. For Verstappen, this is manageable. His car control is second to none. But for any teammate, adapting to such an unpredictable rear can be a nightmare. That's why in 2025, while Verstappen can throw the RB21 into a corner at full confidence, the second driver struggles to even keep the car stable, let alone extract its maximum potential. We've seen the evidence clearly this season. Telemetry data from Q2 and Q3 sessions shows how Verstappen can brake later, rotate faster at mid-corner, and get on the throttle earlier than anyone else. The second Red Bull driver, by contrast, often needs to compromise, braking earlier, carrying less speed, or losing traction at the exit. These differences, just a few tenths per corner, quickly add up to entire seconds over a lap, which explains why Verstappen is consistently in the fight for pole, while the second RB21 is sometimes outside the top 10. But this is not new. Historically, Red Bull has had this issue since Verstappen became the center of their project. Back in 2018, Daniel Ricciardo was still competitive, but he could already feel the team shifting development entirely around Max. After his departure, Red Bull cycled through Pierre Gasly in 2019, Alex Albon in 2020, and Sergio Pérez from 2021 onwards. Each of them faced the same problem. The car didn't suit their style, and the pressure cooker environment of Red Bull gave them no time to adapt. Gasly was replaced mid-season, Albon lost his seat after just over a year, and even Pérez, despite winning races, constantly faced questions about his performance gap to Verstappen. In 2025, the issue is even more visible. Every development choice is about keeping Verstappen ahead of Norris and Piastri, not about making the car more adaptable for two drivers. That means the second Red Bull is effectively treated like a support role, not a true contender. And because Formula One has become so competitive, a car that's already difficult becomes practically undrivable. This explains why at certain tracks like Monaco, Silverstone, or even Spa, the second RB21 doesn't even make Q3, while Verstappen fights for the win. Another factor is psychological. At Red Bull, the pressure is relentless. Helmut Marko and Christian Horner have made it clear time and time again. If you don't deliver, you're replaceable. This culture breeds fear rather than confidence. At Red Bull, the second seat is like a revolving door, and that only makes the performance gap worse. When a driver knows that one mistake could cost him his career, he's less likely to take the risks needed to push the car to its limit. Looking back, this pattern is clear. In 2019, Gasly was dropped mid-season. In 2020, Albon lost his seat after constant struggles. Even Pérez, who brought consistency and experience, was under fire nearly every year. And now in 2025, history is repeating itself. The second driver is once again unable to deliver, unable to adapt to a car built exclusively for Verstappen, and the rumors of a mid-season replacement are louder than ever. So why can't the second Red Bull reach Q3? The answer is simple but brutal. The car is tailored to Verstappen's extreme driving style. The development direction ignores the needs of the second driver, and the team's culture gives no margin for error. The result is always the same. One car fighting for the championship, and the other car fighting to survive. The question now is, should Red Bull change their approach? Should they try to build a car that's more balanced for both drivers? Or would that compromise Verstappen's dominance? It's a dilemma with no easy answer, and one that will continue to define Red Bull's future in Formula One. But what do you think? Is Red Bull making the right choice by focusing everything on Verstappen? Or are they slowly destroying their second seat in the process? Let me know your predictions and thoughts in the comments below.